I'm looking at the solo for Number of the Beast. Now, it's not the easiest of solos, but I must admit I've learnt quite a lot of Iron Maiden stuff over the years, and it's really handy. I find it handy in my own music, so it is stuff that I've used and it's really inspired me so much. Now, Number of the Beast has two solos, so I'm going to show both solos, the beginning and the outro solo, and then there's a centerpiece between the two solos, which is chords, so I'll show that progression as well. So I'll do the first solo, show the progression of the chords, and then the outro solo. And that's kind of in the middle, so I'll show you how to play that as well, and then into the next solo. So let's get into this. So the solo starts off here between the 10th and the 13th on the E string, and it goes like this. I'll play through it slowly. So the solo starts off here between the 10th and the 13th on the E string, and you've got that trill. And then you come here to the 11th and the 10th on the B string, and you go, and then you bend up on the 11th, and then 11, 10. So you've got this. And then you move down and you're playing between the 8th and the 10th, but now you trill. And then you come down 2 frets. And then, so you've got this. So for the next bit of the solo now, you come up here to the 15th and the 17th and you do a trill. Then you go to the 15, 18, back to the 15, 17, 15, 18, and then bend up on the 18. So you've got this. So now we come to this part, and it's a rundown with a lot of trills. Now this part, I learnt it playing it slowly and then build up speed, because it's just getting the positions as much as getting the trills. So you start in here between the 15th and the 18th, then you're coming down to the 13th and the 15th, and then you're doing between the 11th and the 13th, and then the 10th and the 11th. So you've got this. So we finish this phrase now with hammer-ons and pull-offs, and you've got. And these you're going from the 8th to the 10th, from the 6th to the 8th, from the 5th to the 6th, and that's all on the B string. Now you've come to the G string, so you're going the 5 to 7, back to 5, and then you're finishing here on the D string on the 5th and just bend down. Now we come to the last bit of this first solo, and you're sliding up on the G string to the 14th fret, and then you're trilling between the 13th and 15th on the B, and then you're coming up here to the 17th and trilling between the 17th and 18th on the B. So you've got this, and then you're playing the 20th on the B, and you bend that twice, come back to the 18th on the B, and then you come here to the 20th on the E string and bend up. Now between the two solos there's an interlude, and they play a riff and some chords, and it goes like this. So this bit now starts off with this riff, and I'll play through it slowly. And you're playing around the A blues scale, and it starts here on the 7th of the D, to the 7th of the G, back to the 7th of the D, then the 5th of the G, back to the 7th of the D, to the 5th of the D, and then you're coming from the A back to the D back to the A, and then you run down the A string chromatically, and then you play a C chord 3 times, and then you come down here and play a B flat. Okay, so we've just played this. Now we do the same again, but we're moving down position, we're playing it in first position, exactly the same. And now you go to G, to an F. So it's exactly the same pattern as here, except you're playing it here. And the G to the F. And then after that you're on the F, you come up to the G, you come up to the A, and then a B sharp, and then you're into the next solo. So you've got this. So now we get to the second solo, and it starts off with this phrase. So for this next bit now, you've got a unison bend between the 13th and the 15th, the 13th of the B string, 15th of the G string. You play the 2 notes together, and you bend up the G, and then you play the B, or the C note, the 13th of the B twice, and you keep doing that. Now the 4th time, you play this 4 times, the 4th time you just play it and hold that note. So the next riff we have is this. So for this we're messing around with the blues scale again, and you're on here the G and the B on the 10th together. You're playing the 12th of the D to the 10th, and then you play down chromatically on the A, and then you're playing here the 12th of the G and bend up. Now we come to what I think is the trickiest part of all of this now, but don't let that put you off. I'll play through it slowly, I'll try and explain it the best way I can. Just keep rewinding, play it, and just play through it slowly, and you will get it. So this next bit is played like this. So for this piece now, you start on the B string and you're going from the 10th of the B up to the 13th of the B and bend up. And then you do a unison bend, you're playing that note again, but now you're adding in the 10th on the E string. So you've got this. And now you play this. So for this bit now, you're starting here on the 10th of the E up to the 13th. Back to the 10th, you're playing the 13th of the B, back to the 10th of the E, and now you come here to the 12th of the E, and then back to the 10th, so you've got this. And then you come here and you play the B, and you go back and forth from the B on the 12th to the 10th. So playing that bit up to there, you've got this. And now you play this. So now you play this, you're starting here on the 12th of the G and you come to the 13th of the B and then to the 10th of the B you've got. And then you run down from the 13th to the 12th to the 10th on the G. So you've got. So coming out that last bit you're on the B. Now to finish off this riff, you're starting here on the 12th of the D, you come to the 10th of the G, you come to the 12th of the B, bend up, and you finish here on the 10th of the G. So you've got this. So putting all that together, you've got this. So now we get to the last little bit of the solo and we're playing this riff here, and it starts off a bit slower and then it builds up speed, so you've got this. And the last time you play it, you bend up here. And that little riff there, you're playing the 17th of the D, the 15th of the B, and then you're coming up to the 18th, so you're playing. So coming out of that last riff, you're bending here on the 18th of the B, and then we come into this riff and it's, you just play it twice, and in that you're playing the 18th of the B, so you're playing between the 15th and the 17th of the E back to the 15th, and then you're playing the 18th to the 15th on the B, and the very last bit you come up here to the 20th of the E, you bend up, play it twice, and then you come here and play these two notes, which is the 18th of the B and the 19th of the G. So you've got that. So putting the last bit of the solo together, you've got this. Okay, so now you've got the first solo, the interlude, and you've got the last solo. And then there is another interlude or another break where they go off the music and then they do the last verse of the song. So I'm going to show you them chords now, and you've got this. So for that, you've got a D, an F, a G, a B flat, a C,